Welcome back, and when we last left off I was getting ready to mill the first of these plugs for the lower skins for the foreplane, and here you can see that got all done in the foam and the guys are putting a layer of glass on there. And then Jeff got to work laying up the second one of these seat mounts. So this is the rear one of the two front seat mounts, because obviously there's two cantilever seat mounts, and you'll see a little bit more on that towards the end of this video. But didn't have any problems laying that up. And although I'm still waiting on the prop to arrive, which should be a few weeks, probably during the week of Oshkosh, and that pulley to be redone, there's still things I needed to do. So here you can see I've bolted up the adapter plate to the flywheel, and also the adapter ring there for the LPEX, the one that the rubber fitting goes into. So that's all done now. And Jeff got the right side lower foreplane plug in putty, so it was up on the machine and getting that done. So this real simple one actually, because it's mainly just sort of flat surfaces and flanges around there, so it didn't take long to get that one done. And then the other one was getting glass, so this is the left side one, so that got glassed as well, and that was ready to have the putty sprayed on there. So just whipping through these ones quickly now. And here's one of the aileron spar molds, that's a secondary spar that sort of runs parallel to the main wing spar towards the back side of the wing, and that's been basically flipped off of its plug there, and you see Keith's out there just marking a line there where he's going to end up cutting off that rough edge there with the Dremel saw. And here the guys are preparing these first set of ribs for laying up the mold. So what they've done here, they basically just sort of glued them down onto a bit of melamine board and just marking out the area where they're going to put the rubber profile around there. Sort of similar to doing a normal plug, but just a little bit different. And back on the machine, so actually this one here has a little tight joggle around the leading edge of the skin there, so I actually switched it over to the 1/4 inch bit and did that one. It actually came out super nice this time. And there you can see just finishing off there and just doing a really nice job. Super happy with how this machine turned out. If I think back to when we first got it and how rough it was in terms of, it just was completely out of calibration, and it was just, you just couldn't do anything as accurate as what we're doing now. So it's so nice, getting towards the end of all this milling, that we got it dialed in as well as we did, and it's able to produce these sort of results for us. Just really happy about that, even though it needs a little bit of maintenance now, but it's still chugging along nicely. And there's the finished product of the right side lower skin there for the foreplane, and you see the little indentations in there for these little access panels are going to be where we have our hinge sort of points there inside the foreplane, but you'll see that later on. And here the guys are laying up the top coat on these wing ribs, and for the first set, and you can see there's the rubber profile put around there, so I'll just painting that on by hand.
Back to the old painting it on, right?
And back to machine again. So this is the left side lower foreplane skin, so that's had all the putty sprayed on there, and so that one's getting milled now. And so this is Friday afternoon now, and so the guys are pretty much finished laying down the lightweight layers on each of those different ribs. So those look like they're going to come out well, and then next week they'll get the heavy layers put on there to build them up as well. And that right lower foreplane skin came off the machine so nicely that just there was one area there where Jeff just did a quick bit of sanding on there, and then it was ready to prime. So normally the guys would have guide coated that and sanded it, but it just didn't need it. It was so smooth. So anyway, that's good. So that rear seat mount got released from the mold, and so I decided just to mock this up to show you kind of how it looks. So there's the two seat mounts there sitting over the keel, and I've got one of the seats just kind of clamped into place there, and it actually has the rails and stuff on it. These seats actually are super nice. I was sitting in it before, not on there because it's not supported very well, but it has a really nice high back on it, and there you can kind of see those mounts still need some trimming and stuff, but they're just going to get bolted there, so have a nice cantilever design. So pretty happy about how that's turning out, but you'll see more on that when we bolt those into the aircraft later. And if you remember last time, I was going to 3D print this switch thing again with these extra supports in there. So this is how it came out, and it was pretty good. I didn't actually even have to touch anything on there. But I decided actually just to go and get some black filament because it's available, and I'm just going to print it again in black, and then I don't have to worry about, you know, painting it or anything like that. And yeah, the switch does go in there. It's just hard to push it in with one hand. So, but anyway, so I'm in the process now of just starting at the black filament just came today. So here it is running on the printer and just starting out, and that's going to look real nice. So you actually be able to do a few other different things with the printer now. Probably the throttle control handles I'll do next, but anyway, you'll see that later on. So we ordered and it arrived, the vertical power system. So this is the electronic circuit breaker system that we've been planning to use all along, and then you can see the different connectors on one side and a couple of other connectors on the other side. And so I'm just in the process of getting familiarized with this and how everything's going to all wire up. And they have a super nice planner online and that, so you're able to put in all the different electrical components that you're going to have on board and spec them all out there, and then it tells you, or it just figures out, you know, which connectors and which pins on which connectors everything needs to get wired to. So there I've kind of defined pretty much most of the components and stuff that we're going to have, including all the Garmin avionics and all that stuff. And here you can actually see there it gives you details on all the pinouts. And the next page you'll see in a second, it shows you just like a basic wiring diagram. So I'll be showing you more on that later, but we're just, you know, starting to make way with you know, getting the avionics and the electrical system all sorted out. Anyway, I also wanted to say thanks to everybody who responded, you know, to the last video about the open house. Again, I don't know when the open house will be. It'll be 4 weeks after you see the aircraft sitting on the gear. So whenever that will be, you know, based upon all the things that still have to happen. So just stay tuned for that. And anyone who's you know, sent me an email or something, if I haven't been able to reply to you, it's just because I'm slam busy. I'm sorry. It's probably going to get worse. Anyway, that's our update, and thanks again for watching.